Good morning, guys. This is Sheila Texter with Sheila Texter's One Stop Coaching Channel. If this is the first time you've ever joined me, please subscribe to my channel, like it, share it, comment. Go with me on this writing journey, where every Wednesday and Friday I put out videos with content. On Wednesdays I put out videos about my book. I'm fixing to share a little bit about that in this video. And on Fridays I do a video on a coaching tip, inspirational. I am faith-based. I am a faith-based author, a faith-based coach. In other words, the bottom line is, I am a Christian author, a Christian coach. Everything I bring to you will always be brought to you from the Word of God. And if that's not what you want to hear, you may not enjoy my channel. I don't know. But I wish you would. I believe that you will still enjoy all the things that I bring, and the content is very valuable. But today I'm holding, again, if you've watched my channel before, watched some of my other Wednesday videos, my book is finished. It is on Amazon. It is available for purchase. I have actually ordered a bulk of books to come in because I had some pre-sales. I'm going to be delivering those as soon as they come in, and I have a lot of people that has contacted me wanting to purchase the book when I get my shipment in. So I'll be making a couple of rounds, a couple of days, different cities, and delivering the books to people that have asked. But today I wanted to read the foreword in my book. This, like I said, this is just a proof. And we didn't basically reword it, but we did redo a few things. The cover needed to be adjusted. Some of the flow of the book, of the pictures and things that we had before the chapters, after the chapters, we did a little bit of realignment on those. My proofreader and editor that helped me format the book and get it in the KDP in the Amazon. She helped me with that, and so we kind of did that, and I love the PDF on it. It flows very good. The book flow has a good flow to it. The storyline is good, and I'm very proud of it. I just want everyone to know that there's been several people that has already ordered the book and has already got it here in my area, and they've contacted me. They sent me pictures of it, and they have nothing but good things to say about it. They're just raving about it. Again, this is 2 readers that has told me that they cried. They cried in the first part of the book because they are drawn into the character Sheila. If you'll read the book, you will see that I have it's a true story, but the woman's name is Sheila, and I tell the story of how, she fell into adultery and infidelity in the confines of the church, and how God, took her through that journey and brought such a redemptive story. It's nothing short of a miracle, nothing short of a miracle. And if anyone sees anything besides the message of redemption, then you're not looking for the right reason. You're not looking for the right reason. I challenge you today, if you want to read the book, read it. It will help you. But if you're looking for something that's that you're like wanna, think that you she shouldn't have, then you're missing the point of the book. You're missing the message of the book. But I just wanted everyone to know that I'm excited. I have been contacted. The Crucial Conversation people that do the Crucial Conversation podcast have contacted me to see if maybe I wanted to buy an ad space on their podcast and kind of like sponsor them, and kind of like, I scratch their back in a financial way, and they scratch my back by advertisement, and also talking about me being on their podcast as well, doing an interview about, what inspired me to write that book and the message behind that book. So I'm excited about that. That's been exciting, and just wanted to share that with y'all on my journey. And I want to read this forward right quick. And then I want to leave just a few tips with you about writing, about if you're trying to write a book and you want to write a book, your memoir, a true story. I want to just share a few things that I've learned on my journey. But I want to read this forward because every time I come to you and bring something on Wednesdays, I want to always try to read a little bit of something out of my book. And I'm looking forward to writing the other book as well. But that's something I want to elaborate on after I read this forward. Now this is a foreword from Dr. April Jones. And she wrote the book. She's an author as well. She wrote the book No Mess and No Message. And she's also the co-founder of the Drifted Drum Company. And Dr. April Jones wrote the book No Mess, No Message. And her book is about her journey as with her son having cancer, diagnosed with cancer at 2 years old. And they found it around his ankle. Now, you'll have to read the book to get the real details about, the diagnosis. But what it amounts to is they had to make a decision whether to amputate his leg and him live, or do the chemo and not really know. Either way, it could have went either way. And so that was a very, very hard place to be. You will very much enjoy that book if you ever get your hands on it or get a chance to read it. But she helped me, but she also helped me with this book. So she wrote a foreword for me. So I want to read it to you. While there are many books available for those looking to self-improve or grow closer in their walk with God, I dare to say there are few that brave the topic of a comeback to God's army after we have fallen victim to the temptation of sin. The author, Mrs. Texter, embraces sharing the uncomfortable yet all too familiar scenario of infidelity, especially infidelity in the church. In this first book of her new series, Life After the Mistake, Satan will tempt you wherever he can. And when we tricked, the climb back to our calling can be a slippery slope, even though God's forgiveness is granted. When moving on is often done by burying the memory, never mentioning it again, digging up these dry bones in this book is an incredible reminder of how we can continue to face spiritual warfare in our journey as Christians, even when we try diligently to steer clear of temptation. To steer clear of temptations, trials, and sin, and how trying to fix it and forget it ourselves is not nearly as powerful as following God's direction toward resolve and being willing to do whatever He asks you to do, regardless of how difficult or uncomfortable it may be. By combining biblical truths and examples with a present-day dilemma, this book allows an opportunity for you to gain perspective regardless of your part in the aftermath of sin. With her authenticity and humility, this story will be one you won't want to put down and will leave you with renewed hope in a future of forgiveness for yourself and others, reparation of relationships that you may have imagined impossible, and a life of joy pursuing God's calling for you regardless of your past mistakes. Now that's the foreword from Dr. April Jones that also wrote the book No Mess, No Message. I think next Wednesday I'm going to read my introduction. Not sure if I've read that yet, but I'm going to read it. And I may reread some things because sometimes people may come in, and start following me later. So I may reread a few excerpts, and I try not to. But if I do, I feel like it's because there's a reason to elaborate on that. So I've been on here about 10 minutes, almost 10 minutes. But my next book, I'm in the valley of decision about it. I've already started it, but I was trying to carry on with the new beginnings. But as more and more people are contacting me about the book, about this book, and the mistake and the things that are surrounding that, you know, that there should be some more hope somewhere, you know, some more information to go to, some more content to go to that'll help a person overcome those things. So I'm in the valley of decision about where to take that book. There will be a second book, but I'm not sure where to take it. I'm even thinking about maybe doing a life after the mistake 2 and putting something like anonymous views or something, because I thought about maybe interviewing, you know, 10, 15 people that have failed, that I know, that are willing to share their story and stay anonymous, not name no names, but just tell their journey to that failure, or the person that possibly got hurt, the spouse that got hurt. I'm hoping that I can reach out to a couple of them, a few of them, and they would be willing to share their feelings and their journey to what happened as well. So that's just kind of up in the air. But as of right now, though, the book is on Amazon. It's Life After the Mistake, Sheila Texter. I'm going to try my best to put the link in the description below in this YouTube channel. I'm still learning. I'm still fairly new. I've started this channel. I started the channel a couple of years ago, actually, about a year ago. But I really started being intentional with it the last 3 or 4 months, putting out videos every Wednesday and Friday, trying to build an audience, a following for my books, for my journey of writing. And I encourage anyone today that is wanting to write your story. If you know me personally, if you don't, I mean, you can look me up. I have a BeBibleSmart.com website. My name is Sheila Texter. You can find me on Facebook, and I have also a Sheila's One Stop Facebook page as well. You can message me if you're wanting to know some ideas on your books and things. But my tip for today is one of the things that I learned in reading other books and watching YouTube channels on writing is you need something that's going to grab the audience. If you want your audience to read the first chapter and run through that, if you want them to stay with you and run through that book, you need to hook them in the first chapter. And I will maybe expound on that a little more next Wednesday about what they call the hook, which is basically just like you go fishing with a hook and a worm, and you throw out the pole, and that worm and that hook catches that fish, and then that pole reels him in. But he got snatched by the worm and the hook. So that's what you want to try to do when you first start writing. You want to grab your reader's attention. You want them to be hungry to know the rest of the story. That's one of the things that I learned on my journey, and I'm going to share everything that I can to help other new authors that are getting on this writing journey to move forward. So y'all have a great day. Today is actually July the 8th, 2020. I'll be back Friday morning. If nothing happens, I'll be back Friday morning with a coaching tip, inspirational tip. But until then, y'all have a great day. Follow me, subscribe me, like it, share the channel, comment, and buy the book. It's on Amazon.